ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting episode of Stacker News Live. My name's Carr. I'm with my BFF forever, John from Zaprite. What's up, John?
What's up, Carr? How are you?
Doing good, dude. It's good to have you here. You're back in the States. How's Texas treating you?
Texas is great. I love it. I love Texas. I love Texans. And it's great to be back in Pleb Lab, surrounded by my amazing friends.
Yeah,
who
dude.
I've missed dearly while being back in Ireland.
What did you miss the most besides your friends here? You getting work done a lot faster, you think?
Yeah, definitely. I'm a big fan of in-person work.
Yeah.
Remote is good at times, but there's nothing beats just being face-to-face, sitting around a table with people and just like getting stuff done. So
yeah.
It's been very productive.
Yeah. I know you've been on a tour all over the state. I think you want to talk
tour.
about that? Do you want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, so basically just it all started with the Pleb Lab Top Builder Day on the Thursday. This was our Austin, kicked off with a couple of Austin events. So I was talking on that. We made a little bit of announcement. You guys had myself and Parker on a panel. Then I did a talk at the Bitcoin Takeover on the Friday, the next day.
Oh, yeah. I heard that one really well. I'm still waiting for the videos.
Yeah, they're coming out soon, I think.
Okay.
I'm excited to see those too. I was very nervous giving that talk, so I'll be excited to see how it all goes.
I want to see Marty's
watching
talk.
back later.
Yeah.
And then the following week went up to Round Rock, to the Round Rock
nice.
Bitcoiners meetup.
Were they receptive for the...
Yeah, they're a good bunch, like really good crew. I like the Round Rock crew.
Yeah,
and Round Rock, it's a good spot. And then we were in San Antonio.
Wow,
which was
the
my
whole
first
tour.
time. My first time in San Antonio, which was amazing.
Nice.
I love that place. And we did an Alamo tour. Myself and Nick went down, and
nice.
I've never done the Alamo before, so I got a full guided tour history of the Alamo. So that was really exciting. And then we've got hanging around in Austin here for another couple of weeks, and then we've got Dallas for BitBlock Boom.
So you're doing the
and
whole
then
Texas...
back to Austin for like the halving and all that kind of stuff.
So you're doing the whole Texas Triangle.
Yes.
The Texas Triangle tour.
Yeah.
Wow,
Absolutely.
dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanna bring this up real quick because this made some noise. I guess I don't know. Can you tell us about this post optimizing address usage for the gap limit? What's all this about?
So one of the things we allow users to do at Zaprite is to give us an XPub to manage their wallets and their payments, their incoming payments. It's kind of like a set it and forget it rather than having to paste an address onto every invoice. And also, if they want to use features like payment links, we need to be able to generate addresses on the fly for that. So they give us an XPub. And one of the things we ran into early on was that we would have, checkouts that were hit quite regularly would generate 20 addresses, and then we'd have to stop generating addresses because we didn't want to abuse the gap limit because we're basically managing people's XPubs. So we had to come up with some kind of a solution to fix that, because it's not really good if somebody goes to purchase something from a Zaprite checkout and it's like, sorry, you can't use this payment right now.
Yeah, for real.
So we thought about like a lot of different things we could do, and ultimately we ended up on this system of basically jumping ahead. So when somebody gives us their XPub, the very first address that we will reserve and use on a checkout is index 19. And then if that gets paid, we will jump to 39, then 59, then 79. And basically we have this variable in our code base, which is what are we calling it? Something like usable address count.
Gotcha.
And that's an arbitrary number. It could be anything. We have it set as 60 right now. It could be 80, it could be 100, it could be 500, whatever we decide to do. But basically that number is the number of available addresses we want available at any time to be used in this pool that can be like shown on a checkout. Because obviously 20 is a small number, so we don't want that to be hit regularly. And so what we do is we do index 19, 39, 59, 79, and then we are over 60. Is the number that we wanted. And so at that point then we go back to index 0 and we start filling in those addresses until such point as we get under our desired 60, and then we'll bump out again 20 ahead of the last used address and we'll keep doing that until we get to at least 60 again, and then we go back and start filling in the ones that haven't been used. So You can kind of think of it like a centipede that's like expanding and contracting and expanding and contracting as you go. And we're just constantly trying to keep this bigger pool of available addresses while respecting the 20 address
That's
cap
fascinating
at every time.
Because initially you guys we just pasted the Bitcoin address in there every single time for an invoice. Remember that?
Yeah, the early days.
I'm glad that you guys are rethinking this because I don't know of anybody else doing this, right? Does anybody else? I mean, obviously the big ones, but like anybody else?
I don't know for sure. One of the reasons why we put this blog post out and kind of, put it out there and shared it on Stacker News and other places for people to see is because we wanted feedback. We wanted to see, are we doing something crazy? Are we the only ones who are doing this? Is this the wrong approach? Is it a good approach? We wanted feedback from other developers. I have a suspicion that there's a lot of wallets out there that are doing similar things, but just aren't public about it.
Okay.
And so it would be nice to get the feedback, but this was just something that we decided that, was an elegant solution.
Yeah.
And it respected the gap limit. And so, we'll see over time how it plays out, but we wanted to do it in such a way that it didn't, like we wanted to minimize the chances of a user connecting their XPub to Zaprite and then like freaking out because they couldn't see a deposit, right? Because if that deposit comes in, now there are certain wallets that kind of mess with this system. For example, Exodus, which is kind of like it's a shitcoin wallet, but when you hit receive, they give you one address and they're only looking at that one address.
Gosh, I haven't used that wallet in a really long time.
If you give them, if they generate an index 0 and then you drop a deposit into index 19, they're not going to see it. So we've had Exodus users say like we can't find our deposit. What's going on? So there's a lot of things that you have to think for when you're building something like this.
That's why I think just get an Unchained account, get Zaprite, call it a day. Don't think about it. You guys even have that.
The good thing about it is Unchained. This actually works with Unchained and doesn't disrupt any of their flows either. Because if you give us your vault configuration file from Unchained, we're still going to use our gap limit system. Yeah. But the beauty is it doesn't.
And it just makes a separate.
It doesn't interfere with anything that Unchained is doing on their side either.
Yeah, it just makes a separate vault too. Yeah, it's pretty slick, man. It's pretty slick.
Yeah, we're excited because obviously it kind of minimizes the risk of somebody's Zaprite checkout being unavailable for on-chain payments. So that's nice. Yeah. But I would welcome any feedback. So if you haven't seen it or
Stackers,
you haven't read the post yet, get on Stacker News and drop some comments.
Drop it in the comments. Yeah. This will be shared everywhere. But dude, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming on the show, man. I appreciate you.
Well, I let the real Stacker News partner back in his chair. I've hijacked the chair for the first.
No, I just wanted you to come on here because we have a lot of people. I know you have a lot of people that are signing up, have questions. Even on Stacker News, there's been people that have had questions about Zaprite, and you guys have done an AMA and all that stuff. So I think it's just really important. The Stackers are just inquisitive about what you guys are doing.
We had a lot of great questions during the AMA. I really enjoyed that. That was awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks to all the Stackers for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Cheers. Right, thanks. Appreciate it. Cheers.
Later, John. All right. We're going to jump into the regular show. Thank you, Stackers, for listening. We got your king here. Coob.
I'm no king. I'm a pleb.
You got your pleb here. Your Coob. What did you think about what John said?
I'm just happy to have John on while he's in town. I don't know.
What do you guys talk about? Do you guys talk about life or talk about founder stuff?
Well, whenever John and I get a chance to talk, it's usually about founder stuff because John and I were in we started our startups in a similar time. Although John got a head start for a while, but our companies were like at similar stages, and so it was always nice having someone to talk to about raising money or no, I mean hiring, really anything. How are you doing certain parts of your business? Like our products overlap somewhat in certain areas. Like Nick and I were talking about like hold invoices and things like that. So,
that's good, man. That's good. You have somebody to talk to about this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's always you as well here, but it's good to have more than one
Yeah.
founder
I-
around. And we have Francisco now, and so many people are catching up.
I love that because you got the new guys coming in now and blah blah, and they have even better ideas than us sometimes, and I'm like, yes, this is what. And then obviously we have Nifty here, and she's a genius, so that also helps too as well. But yeah, dude, it's a good time to build. Really good time to build. How was your week?
How was my week? My week was I think it was pretty good. Someone moved into the office next door to us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Have you figured out who they are yet?
Probably just the CIA, I would imagine.
You say that so casually.
It's okay.
We're not
doing anything wrong. It'd be different if we were doing something wrong.
It's definitely not the CIA. They're
I
talking.
don't know. They literally are just an empty brick.
Well, they're doing
thing.
They're doing a great job of pretending to be an AR.
It kind of reminds me. Remember, we were at the other Pleb Lab and there was that chain analysis guy. It kind of reminds me of that kind of vibe. And the only reason I know is because that guy was like, "Yeah, I'm from chain analysis."
Well, it could be.
They could be chain analysis.
I don't think they are though, because I have the loudest sales guy taking up the office that shares a wall with me, and he.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
you can hear from his all. You can hear.
Yeah, he's a yelly guy. He's very, he's like top of his.
Are they
range,
an AI startup?
I think they're an AI startup.
Oh, that makes sense. You would think they would want to be in the metaverse, though. They wouldn't want to be in like the physical verse,
I mean, maybe they're a new kind of AI startup. Maybe.
So that was my second thing. It was like, oh, they're either the CIA or they're just like a startup from Capital Factory.
They were. I just overheard them talking a lot about AI and AI replacing developers. So they might not even be an AI startup. They might just be.
Hey, friend.
They might just be a founder.
I'm sure they know
who doesn't want to hire people or something.
So people will stop. They'll walk by and they'll stop and they'll Google Pleb Lab right in front of us. You know that? You're in your office, you don't see that, but I've seen that several times, at least once a week. Somebody will walk by, they'll stop, they'll look at the sign, they'll look at their phone, and you're just like looking it up to see what it is.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you do when you're curious about something.
It's a weird name.
Pleb Lab?
Yeah. Anyways.
It is. What is even pleb? To a non-Bitcoiner, what does pleb mean?
If you've never seen this show before, this is called Stacker News Live. We cover the top 5 stories on stacker.news every week. Never miss a week. Keon can miss a week. Car can't miss a week. I do this every week. And, sometimes I like it.
You can miss a week if you want.
Sometimes I don't.
Permission.
But today.
How are you feeling about it today? Are you on the, why did I ever agree to do this? I regret it now.
I'm fine. But we're going to cover the top 5 stories. We have there's some interesting news this week. There's a lot of spicy news, but I don't think we're going to cover any of the spicy stuff, right?
What's spicy stuff?
All the fighting that's going on.
Oh, you mean like the seed signer stuff?
Yeah. It's always like a.
I don't like fight. I don't like.
Oh, now you don't like fighting.
I mean, I don't like that type of fighting where.
Yeah, I don't like the draw. I don't like that type of fighting where you're putting your product over the other product.
Yeah, kind of product drama is weird. I just don't get it. But
I don't mind the intellectual fighting.
Yeah.
Like, I'm for this or I'm for that. Like, I actually like that kind of discourse, but I don't like my product's better than your product fight. It's just dumb.
It's like a civil war. It's like where you're like killing your own kid.
Yeah, because it's so small, right?
Yeah.
Like, anyways, what do I know? I'm just a pleb. But Keon, he might know.
I don't know.
I mean, do you think? I mean, you fight with Reddit, don't you?
Oh yeah, we were always. So I mean, they're
IPO. You're hypocrites.
I'm a flea.
Yeah, but you would never fight with like other products that are around Stacker News, right?
No, I don't think I would. I don't think I have that impulse. I mean,
if anything, at least for me, like whenever I see all the hacker spaces and all the hubs, I want to go get to know them. Because I want to personally know, like, what do they know that I don't know, so I can also implement that too. That's how I look at it. And then when they don't tell me, I'm like, really? But luckily, it's a totally different thing than real products online and stuff. But we're gonna cover the top 5 story stackers. We'll see how it goes. The first top story is I'm closing my 300 channels Lightning node. Here are the reasons. This is from Javier, March 30th. Bitcoin post, 73 comments, 11,000 sats. Is that March 30th? Where do we in? Oh, April. Okay.
Yeah, time right now is weird. We have the eclipse coming. Who knows what it's doing
Might
to
die.
this world? You've been saying that.
Anyways, what's this, Guillaume?
This is Javier, who recently started posting on Stacker News, but apparently they had a Lightning node that they carried around. It was mobile. They were
Like on their backpackers?
yeah, like in their backpack,
Nice.
or it would operate on a cell signal,
Yes.
and they had like I think they ran it off a battery.
Screw having a lightning node in your pocket on your back.
Yeah. Yeah, but he had a lightning node that way just because it was more versatile and he felt like he could keep it like more up and stuff. But and it had 300 channels. Like he was a huge lightning maxi, and he's been in Bitcoin since 2011.
Wow.
But he's decided to stop
Oh.
running it. It just never turned profitable for him.
Oh, look, he also did it in Spanish.
Yeah, I think he's a Spanish speaker. I think he might be. He wrote a post this morning about Spain, so he might.
Dude, you should have a
be-
little thing where they can swap between Spanish and English if they want to.
Oh.
Not automated, but if they want to put it, like, you know what I mean? Where in the back, be like,
Go to a Spanish version.
Yeah. Anyway, just something to think about.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Anyway, but he decided to shut down the node.
Did he say why?
Yeah, he said it's just it lists them out here, but it's a lot of time, not really much reward for the way he wants to run his node, which is this mobile way. It doesn't really have many options.
Because he wants to carry it on his back.
Yeah,
He wants to carry 300 channels on his back.
hardware fails, and so like we heard from Alex at Kaboom Racks, like this stuff is not permanently reliable, and that's really lame, and especially when your money could be lost as a result of a hardware failure.
I think we'll get there.
Automating
It's gonna take a little time.
and he said periodic headaches, with an update or something.
We got Darth Coin with the top comment. It says, "Thank you for this excellent described story of your node. I concur with part of your experience. I wrote about it many times in my guides. Most of what you describe is already mentioned in my guides. It's very good that old Bitcoiners like you explaining these aspects. What I will want to add to your post are the following. I see the Lightning Network as the payment network of Bitcoin. Do you think he has something there? Bitcoin on-chain is the main base of settlement. LN is the water, the flow of this base layer. What do you think?
I think it's. I mean, I think so. I just don't. I don't know how else we're gonna use Bitcoin at the retail level if it's not a sort of peer-to-peer fashion. Maybe we'll have some better protocol, but I think you need this type of channel construction, as far as I know, to lift Bitcoin off chain and keep. Yeah. You could. It seems scalable to keep a single counterparty from double spending on you, but and so it seems like the something you have to assume is the most efficient method of doing that. But maybe there's another alternative. I don't know. People who are smarter than me seem to think that Lightning is going to go the way of like Swift, and it's just going to connect custodial services and banks and stuff like that. I think it might take time to see whether that's true or not, and I personally don't feel like it'll end up that way because too many people don't want it to.
Yeah, that's true. I got VMPRC says, I ran a few Casa nodes back in the day. Hard drive kept failing. I think maybe it was too hot. Casa always replaced the hardware. Loomer says, do you think you could have taken higher total fees? Javier said, I think so. In fact, most of the fees I got was thanks to CLO Boss, software that I recommend for pleb nodes. What's CLO Boss?
CLO Boss is a channel manager for Core Lightning.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. It's very
does
popular
anybody
with
talk
Core
about it?
Lightning runners. A lot of people do.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Just not on Stacker News, maybe?
No, it's been posted. I think Grubels came on Stacker News and posted about it.
Back in the day or what?
Yeah.
That's cool. We got Wumble says, thank you for the write-up. I think the phases of Lightning node running you described is very common. First is set up some channels. How does this thing work phase? Let's grow this thing. I can be a super node phase. Technical glitch. Oh, crap. What happened phase? Too much exposure. Maybe I should limit my risk phase. Shut it down. Is it even worth it phase? Wow. What do you think? Do you think these are the phases of running your own Lightning node?
Set up.
Wumbo thinks so.
Some channels. Let's grow this thing. Technical glitch. Too much exposure. Shut it down. I think that'll be the journey for most people. We've had other points of view that have been shared on Stacker News from people who, like C Otto, who runs, a significant Lightning node on the network, and as far as I can tell, does it profitably. And it's just expensive to run a routing node well. And so if you're as a pleb, like passively running a node that you're not really paying much attention to, yeah, I think that probably is a lot of the journey. If you're not really into self-sovereignty, it's like hosting all of your images or something at home. You're going to run into a bunch of inconvenient periods with it. That's offset by the self-sovereignty you're getting. If you don't value the self-sovereignty that highly, or you can trade down for, a mobile wallet with, a slightly more trusted relationship with an LSP, a lot of people will do that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we're still early. I think give them time. I think it'll get figured out.
Yeah.
But I'm very optimistic with Lightning. Yeah, we'll see.
I'm optimistic. I'm never very optimistic.
I'm very optimistic. The next top story is one of the cheat codes I've learned.
Geoarbitrage.
Wow, Geoarbitrage. Wow. It's from Natalia. 78 comments. 13,000 sats. A meta post.
Yeah.
Home territory?
Yeah.
Well, should be in world territory.
Natalia likes going back to meta. She'll recommend to other people to post in meta when there's not an obvious territory. I think these posts belong in Earth.
World. Yeah,
Earth for me, but maybe she has good reason not to post it there. Anyway, this post is a follow-up on her last post, which was about her journey being a nomad and a reflection on it. This is about kind of some of the financial advantage and other advantages you get as a result of, or you can get as a result of being a nomad and traveling a lot. She describes, saving on getting tax-free things when she's traveling. What are some of the other ones she lists out here? Medical treatments are a big one. My favorite is the slide on digital, what she calls digital migration. That might be a common term for it, actually. But the price of Spotify in Turkey is about 2,600 sats a month. And in the US, it's nearly 16,000 sats. And so a lot of digital services, they will, based on your IP, they will charge you less for their service because
I've heard that before.
Yeah. So, that makes sense. Charge your customers what they can afford. So while you're traveling or using a VPN, you can do that. Remote hiring is another one. That's not so much scope to digital nomads because nearly anyone can take advantage of that, but you might come in contact with more people remotely if you're a digital nomad. And then she has a dating section about how as a foreigner you're like more scarce wherever you travel to, like your genetics, if you want to get biological, are more scarce, but also your aesthetics are more scarce, your experience is more scarce, and that scarcity is humans have a visceral kind of pull towards scarcity, and so that you have an advantage in the dating market because you stand out. But yeah, really, I think really cool and fun.
Got Lux with the top comment. He said my arbitrage, and then he mentions a couple sites there. And then we got Darth Quinn says, "Watch out, guys! Natalia started to drop some fire memes on SN." Yeah, pretty cool.
It is cool.
Yeah. Got Handsome Latino says, "Great writing. This is your last post. Our pure gold Bitcoin."
Yeah, nice. She also wrote about the currency or the exchange rate arbitrage that she experienced in Turkey. I think she's over the course of like the last 4 years in Turkey.
Wow.
They've had like 400% inflation or something, but she earns in Bitcoin and dollars. which hasn't had as much inflation, and she gets to, benefit from that exchange rate, and things are quite cheap in Turkey, because the price of goods usually don't keep up with inflation; they lag.
Yeah, that's awesome. Keep them coming. The next top story is Zoom Out. This is from Kepford, mostly harmless territory. April 1st, 21 comments, 13,000 sats. Keon, what is this?
Yeah, it was a good one from Kepford.
It's a wall of text.
I mean,
I'm kidding.
It's in
Kind of.
no images, but yeah, it's about when you're in a situation, perhaps one that's really any situation, but perhaps one that's hard, you can zoom out and assess the situation in context of more time, more events, more data.
Yeah.
And that's mostly what the post is about, how he's applied that in a few areas. He talks about Jordan Peterson's future authoring program, which we've talked about a little bit before on here, which I've done, which I think is cool. And that's basically an exercise in zooming out. Like, it prompts you to zoom out on your life and write about your future. And yeah, he said he just kind of got out of practice of zooming out and out of practice in a number of things that he realized made him happy, and thinking of, and like writing this, reflecting on his experience of noticing that as he zoomed out. And yeah.
Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's fair for people to make fun of people who are self-help people that help others, as far as like with life and stuff like that? Not to the extent of like what's that guy's name? Not to the extent of like Tony Robbins or whatever. But do you think it's?
I wouldn't make fun of Tony Robbins. I like Tony Robbins.
But you know what I mean? Like, do you think it's kind of funny to make fun of people that are helping others, I guess, is one way to say it, or even writing about helping others, kind of like this post, basically?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think it's probably a case by case basis. I think some of it can get kind of gross and weird, and
like which part of it?
More markety. The one where they're figuring out a way to monetize helping people. It can get, if they're not very good at it, it can come off as kind of gross.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, but usually, the ones that are like the ones like Tony Robbins, he's really figured it out, I think, and I think he gives away his.
Jordan Peterson, you think, has figured it out?
Jordan Peterson, it seems like he mostly gets his money from advertising. I don't really know. And maybe
what about like Gary Vee and guys like that?
I don't really follow them too much.
Yeah.
I think the true path for the real self-help people who are really helping people is personal consulting with people who are very wealthy, who want more dedicated personal help, and that seems to be the path.
So you're saying the cringe part is that's probably when Tony Robbins was like in year 2 or 3, probably.
Yeah, the startup I think is kind of gross. I know. I mean, I've met people who.
Yeah, I've met a ton of people like at Capital Factory who were like self-help gurus, but they were starting out.
Yeah, I mean, I think they want to be personal coaches, because it's almost like you're like the goal is to be like a super influencer. It's like a more classy move than just wanting to be an influencer.
But wouldn't the goal be to help people though?
That's what it should be.
Yeah.
I think that's when it ends up bad, mostly, is when it actually isn't so much about other people and it's about
so maybe
themselves.
it's when they're not actually helping people is when it's bad.
Yeah, probably.
But that makes sense. Top comment from Taft. He says, "Zoom out. It's a fantastic perspective. Your reflections have made me think deeply, and I wish I had considered this during my dark times. Thank God things are going well for me now. However, I will save your reflections for the future. Thank you for this post." You got Gray Ruby says, "When I want to zoom out, I read this note. I saved it in my phone as an idea for something I wanted to write for my kids." Wow. A lot of people love this post, Keon.
Yeah. I think it touches on something pretty true that, it's easy to forget to do.
I got David W. says, glad you accomplished a breakthrough in just a weekend. For me, it usually takes more. One thing many people do is put themselves under unnecessary stress, even if low levels, in order to get things done. I am almost always one of those people telling myself it's just this week. Next week will be different. But of course, something else always comes along to trigger a similar response. Zooming out and taking time to walk the dog is so underrated. There you go. David W. with some wisdom.
Dude, dropping it.
Yeah, that's some really good wisdom. The final top story, right? No. The next top story is Coinbase selects Lightspark for Lightning. This is a random post. April 3rd, Bitcoin territory, 103 comments. Wow, 103 comments?
Yeah.
Everybody has an opinion on this. 14,600 sats. What is this? I've never heard of this.
You never heard?
Never heard of Coinbase or Lightspark. What is this?
Okay, why do you do that when we have stories?
Because we might have new people listening to the show for the first time who never heard of Coinbase or Lightspark.
I know, but why are you pretending yourself?
Because you got to pretend. This is the part of the show where we pretend.
Okay, I didn't realize. Anyway, Coinbase
what is this?
Coinbase is an exchange.
Is it really?
It's probably I think it's the United States' biggest one, maybe the biggest global exchange. Maybe Binance was bigger at one point.
Yeah, I think Binance was bigger.
It might even still be. So they're a big crypto exchange. And then Lightspark is David Marcus's company.
Who's David Marcus?
David Marcus. I think he was heading up, he headed up chat at Facebook initially. Then he went to work on Diem after he joined Facebook after a career, I think, building fintech startups, or at least one of them. And then when he came to Facebook, he worked on mobile chat, and then he did Diem there, or Libra. I don't remember which it is. But that didn't really go so well. The regulators didn't really like Facebook creating their own money. And he left Facebook to create Lightspark. And I've heard a few times on different podcasts he raised something like $200 million.
Wow.
Something like that at $1 billion valuation or something. And so they're building like very, Lightning infrastructure for, big players like Coinbase. That's basically what their company is intending to do. And this is the first, I think, very large partnership that they've had. So pretty significant.
It's pretty big.
One of the details in here that I found pretty cool is that Lightspark allows Coinbase to hold their own keys for the Lightning service that Lightspark is running, a lot like
Greenlight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Everybody's getting to the same thing, maybe.
I think a bit in a different way. I think what Greenlight intends to do is allow more like plebs to run nodes, just holding the keys, and that's they'll run the nodes for them in Greenlight, but the plebs will hold the keys. Lightspark, I think, wants to be this for people like companies like Coinbase or larger companies. Is I think presumably what they're hoping, like McDonald's,
like Uber, and all those. Yeah, they're trying to grab all those people.
That's what they want. Yeah. So,
bullish.
Yeah, pretty.
Yeah, because
cool.
because honestly, like those type of companies, I could be wrong, but I feel like those type of companies aren't going to come to, somebody that's outside of their circle.
I think if Lightspark proves themselves with Coinbase, I think, and these other companies
like Uber and Lyft and all those people will.
I think they'll come in. I think this is a great initial partnership for Lightspark. If you're just thinking about it purely from like
I think it's good too, because this will lead, like you said, will lead to that, and then there will be one, let's say Canva or whatever, that will then look out there and say, oh, we could go with Lightspark, or we could go with, and then pick any other.
Yeah, maybe they'll use Greenlight.
Or so
something.
This is good for the whole space. I think the stackers do not agree. We got the first. Oh, KR had the top comment. He said, "Wow, this is huge. Congrats to the Lightspark team. Excited to see what kind of traction this gets." The next up a comment was from Steph May. He says, "What is Lightspark?" And there we go. Well, you're welcome. We just answered that. And then the third top comment was Darthcoin, of course. Lightspark is a scam, as Coinbase too. And what comes from two scams? A bigger scam. That's what Darthcoin said. Then you got Nout. He said, David Marcus leaves Facebook after failing to do a poop coin. It was called Libra. Yeah, we already said that. Matt Alberg. He says, this is just more gaslighting. In my opinion, Coinbase has dragged their feet on Lightning for years, and now they finally kick it to an outside firm. Pathetic. Problem will be another year plus before actual integration. What do you think about that comment?
I think the timeline might be accurate. I mean, Coinbase has a lot going on. Their product at this point is really complicated, and they're trying to appeal to traders trading a variety of assets that, a lot of them are brand new and have a lot of churn and volatility. So I think the timeline seems right.
To them, to Coinbase is probably just they're looking at it like another token or something, I would imagine, internally.
I don't think so. I mean, maybe internally in terms of the culture, Brian Armstrong has said that he does view Bitcoin as like a sort of singular thing and like kind of separate.
You have other companies like River, and they dedicate entirely just to Bitcoin. You don't think do you even have the bandwidth to do that, you think, Coinbase? Like to dedicate an entire team just to Bitcoin?
Oh, no, I'm not saying he's going to do that. I'm just saying his point of view, at least, is that Bitcoin is a unique
I think that's
asset.
why they went outside.
I just
don't think they can I don't think they can deploy that much.
If they can hold their own keys, why not have someone else run the infrastructure? I don't know why people are upset about that. I mean, perhaps it would be more bullish if Coinbase were themselves, dedicating a team to run the infrastructure, and they might invest more heavily into it. But
I mean, I heard that they use Salesforce for a lot of things, so this is probably just how they do things internally. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Well, I don't know what people are expecting of a company like that. You can't do everything that you want to do, and sure, they're distracted by a bunch of stuff maybe they shouldn't be doing, but it would be very hard to run on a service of their size to run a Lightning thing, but they can outsource it entirely to David Marcus for a fraction of the cost of what it would cost them to hire an internal team to do it.
I think they see Kraken and they're probably thinking like, oh, Kraken can do it. Maybe that's what all these stackers are thinking. Who knows?
That's true, but I don't know how well Kraken's thing is going. Apparently it went pretty well, but
I think Evan had something to do with it, actually.
Was it Evan? I thought it was Pierre.
Oh, maybe. Who knows?
Okay.
Cool.
They'll get Coinbase will have Lightning, which will be nice for.
I don't use Coinbase. I'm sure no one on these comments use Coinbase either, so it doesn't matter.
But I mean,
I was just shocked there were so many comments. Like, I think people just hate Coinbase. They just have a bad brand amongst the plebs
of the crypto market in the United States. The majority of them are using Coinbase, and so when they're.
Do you think somebody uses Coinbase in these comments though?
No, but I think the point is a majority of people in the United States who are in crypto are using Coinbase, and so if they want to interact with Bitcoin products that have Lightning in them, they're gonna, they don't really have an on ramp except create open channels and stuff. They can't go straight from their custodial Coinbase account to Fountain for boosting.
Yeah.
Although Fountain has like fiat on ramps, but
I think this was big news this week.
I think
massive news.
I think it's very big news. I don't, I think it's great news for Lightspark.
I have no dig in this pony, so
yeah,
doesn't matter. The final top story is the Collectible Culture. This is from David W. in the Culture territory. 28 comments, 15,000 sats. What is this? Is this David W.?
This is David W.
Oh, wow. This whole time.
No, that's not. No, that picture. Oh. No, that's a collector of matchbook cars.
Sorry, David.
Simon Hope. This is kind of a review of what's going on in like very large collectible
I love
markets.
how he does this every time with his posts. It looks so cool.
Yeah, the separators. He uses an image. It's pretty clever. Makes it look really custom.
Yeah. That's how all Stacker News posts should be.
Yeah, it's
that clean.
It's very cool. Anyway, he goes into a variety of collector cultures, cars, fashion, art, real estate, and kind of covers, what's going on in the market, what it appears is going on, and how it feels distorted. Doing a bit of historical review of like similar periods of time where the collectible market, or how that good was in prior years, and how it was used, and to what extent it was a collectible, and what extent it was a status symbol. Yeah. But like mostly demonstrating that the collectible market is very frothy and weird, and feels like it's maybe a little overextended. In the art area, he covers this painting or this, I don't even know if it's a painting, it might even be a print, but where Banksy shred it, and then it got resold a couple times and like tripled in price. He covers David Gersh, and how David Gersh, he's like one of the most famous contemporary artists, infamous maybe, but he, like 80% of his artwork he doesn't even produce himself, but yet it's still he's still one of the like highest grossing modern artists. So just kind of the perversion of the collectible space. He doesn't get into digital collectibles at all, mostly
I don't see
material
Bitcoin in here,
collectibles. Have you ever collected anything?
Yeah.
What have you?
When I was younger, I used to collect basketball and baseball and like football cards and stuff. Like because my uncle used to he was like really big on taking us to all the conventions and stuff.
He was a collector.
He was a collector, and then he showed us how to collect all. And then we used to collect comic books too. So I used to collect all the comic books and then Pogs. You remember Pogs?
I remember Pogs.
Dude, we used to Pog out, bro. It was so much fun.
I used to go to flea markets and buy tons of Pogs.
And then what else? We used to collect like Super Nintendo games and stuff like that.
Wow, collecting video games
and all that kind of stuff.
I collected baseball cards, but
yeah, I used to have a really sweet collection. I don't know if you ever see. Do you ever see that little thing, that Mike Piazza thing they always have in the lab?
No.
Dude, that thing's from like the 90s. I just haven't opened it up yet because it's like a collectible.
Okay.
You ever seen it?
No.
It's somewhere around here. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, it's probably worth a lot of money.
It could be. I mean, the thing I got burned out on collecting baseball cards when I was a kid, because I would open a pack of cards and be like, "This is it. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna be able to."
I wouldn't do that for that. Like, I wouldn't do that. I would literally just carry my everything, my backpack, and then we would trade it at school. We would trade our cards.
But what was the goal of the trade?
Because like sometimes you would have like this really cool like hologram of like Shaq or like Jordan or Kobe or whatever, and then I would be like, oh, I want that, and then you would trade like your 3 other like Alonzo Mourning or whatever, and you would trade them for that one, and you'd be like, you can't do that. And then like later in school, people would be like, oh, card traded whatever for this, like, oh my god. So, and then sometimes you get into, they'd be like, give me my card back, I want, and they're like, there's no take backs, like you can't take back once you trade something, Keon. Anyways, I'm bringing up all this flashbacks. It was a lot of fun, man. Corpus is a fun city, bro.
I believe you.
It's a fun city to grow up in.
Go Texas. One thing he doesn't cover in here that I was hoping to see. I mean, he covers fashion, but I was hoping to see the like sneaker.
Ooh,
stuff.
Yeah, that would be fascinating.
Yeah, because that's taken off in a way that I don't think it ever has before. I mean, there have been people have been collecting sneakers for a long time, but I've encountered it among people in person for the first time. And multiple times. So, but yeah, it does feel like there's something going on where people they feel like the money needs to be spent on something, and something that they think will go up in value.
That'll hold value.
And so that's
not even hold value, just
hold it. Yeah, hold the value, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. It's all fiat. I just still remember that talk that Jimmy did I think it was January, February, and he just like because he did that Fiat Ruins Everything. And I just remember that talk that he did at ABC, and it was just, I never looked at a lot of things the same way after that talk. I was like, gosh, it kind of jarred me for a second. Because we were all talking about it in the hallway. We were just like, remember, like what he's, anyways, I don't know if they recorded that, but hopefully he puts that in print at some point. It's pretty profound. You can tell you spent a lot of time thinking about it.
He wrote a whole book.
Yeah, well, but I think he had said something that he didn't have in the book, I think.
Okay.
I could be wrong, or maybe anyway. I got Natalia with the top comment. Says, I like to collect skills, knowledge, and experience now, things-wise. Crafting those I really need instead of buying any already made ones. I think that's, for me, where I'm at personally. I think we talk about this all the time. Like, I'm through with, like, collecting things. I just want more knowledge, and creating things is what I want. Like, if you go to my apartment, it's, like, literally nothing. So it's just, like, a couple things, and that's it. Like, one chair. Like, it's just because I really just want and be in that headspace of, like, creation. So I totally get that. Totally vibe with that, Natalia.
Yeah. I don't know. I get the urge to collect.
Yeah.
But I don't.
What's up, Jack?
I'm a little concerned about it sometimes.
Yeah. We got the second top comment from Siggy. Said, for the past 10 years or so, I have been collecting ancient Roman coins. I wonder where this type of collecting fits into your thesis. Wow. That would be cool to see.
Yeah. I was at one of the shows I would watch when I was younger was a Pawn Shop. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Like that History Channel show, and they would have a lot of people come into there with like historical.
A lot of people saw that.
Yeah.
Then they started doing the vehicle. Did you ever see the vehicle ones they did? The collecting vehicle? They did all sorts of history stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the Pawn Shop like buys and sells a bunch of stuff, but they would do the coins, and that's where I learned about how incredibly like not rich in like financial sense, but like rich in a cultural historical thing. Like these coins are, I don't know, they're like a bit of a time capsule. They're something that has endured for a long time, and you know, being in their presence, I'm sure, can really help you access
great post
feelings of
zap 'em
of the past. Zap.
We're gonna jump into, what are we gonna jump into next? Okay, we're gonna jump into the meta stuff. Meta was top SN territories. What's this?
Yeah, we can go through the meta stuff pretty fast, but this is the David W. did a great post summarizing the top territories and did a bunch of charts on it.
Somebody's taking our picture. That's what this feels like? Is that what that feels like? Oh, okay. But I know, but it's funny because like I'm always doing that to y'all, but now I realize what that, it's so weird. Anyways.
Anyway, it breaks down the territories and what's going on there. Shows like some of the top earners, the ones with the most comments. He also, he reported a bug shortly after he reported.
Oh yeah,
I don't think I fixed yet. Where the summarization of the stats.
Wait, is this a new one from the last one that he did, or
he published this on last Friday?
Yeah. Okay, I already saw this one. Yeah, I saw this one.
Yeah, but really cool and pretty charts.
Zap 'em.
You did a great job with this, and
awesome, man.
Yeah, I mean, but I think he understands territories.
What does David
better
W.
than I
do during the
this.
day? Like, what does he do?
I'm not sure. I mean, as much as I know about David W. is that he was previously in the UK and moved to Uruguay. That's what he shared on Stacker News.
Okay, so he just a digital nomad, maybe? Interesting.
No, I don't think he's a digital nomad. I think he resides in
He just hangs out at Stacker News all the time?
Not all the time, but I think
These are exceptional posts, though. Like, this takes time.
I will write 5 paragraphs and it'll take me a whole day.
This is like literally like, this looks like 10 hours of work.
Oh, I would guess more. It's pretty amazing. But I think he just really likes to go deep on stuff, and that this is he's probably doing it for his own satisfaction, which is the way most of us do things.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And fortunately, it's a type of thing that he can share.
Yeah. Got the next story, next meta one was from Dhruv, co-founder of Unchained. Did you see this?
Yeah.
What'd you think of this one?
This is great. I was so happy to have Dhruv on for an AMA. I think he is one of my favorite people in Bitcoin.
Really?
Yeah. I think he just has a really unique way of looking at things. Like, I'm usually surprised by a point of view that he has, or
I think the space talk really gets me.
Exactly. He's coming at Bitcoin from an interesting angle. I think just, it's a mark of someone who's really smart.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was really happy to have him on for an AMA. I didn't know when we get to have him on for an AMA. Actually, I had never even talked to Dhruv before. I don't know if you've met Dhruv before in person.
I met I think I met both of them, Joe and Dhruv, but I don't see him very often. I see Joe more than I see Dhruv, to be honest.
Dhruv was at the first Bitcoin meetup I went to ever, which was in Austin here. He was there, and he was standing next to me, and I looked at him, and I nodded, and he looked at me, and he nodded, and that's about it. But I didn't realize who he was, and I didn't.
Well, they've been.
I was also just really shy.
They've been in it for a long time.
I'm still really shy.
I think the reason I probably never see him is because I just don't. I think they all have families and all that kind of stuff.
Well, Bitcoin's blown up since then.
Yeah.
Back at that meetup, there were 20 people. Yeah. It was tiny.
We're still, Keon. We're still it's still growing. Everything's still growing.
Oh no, it's still very early and
still
tiny.
very early,
but now the Bitcoin meetups here in Austin have over 100 people
every time. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's too busy, and a lot of these people don't go because their lives have moved on. But anyway, it was great to have him. Max Webster has been asking me to have Dhruv on for a long time.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah. And I just didn't know how.
Max, you should just come to Austin.
Well, how would that?
Then you can just go meet him.
Oh, I think he's talked to Drew before, but he wanted to have him on for an AMA specifically.
Oh, for an AMA. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So we finally got him, Max.
There you go. The next AMA was a Geyser AMA. What's this, Keon?
Oh, well, it's an AMA with Geyser, which is the premier Bitcoin crowdfunding application. And yeah, I mean, there was a piece in Forbes written about them recently.
Oh, nice.
Written by, I think it was I Hate 1999, which I forget his name exactly. He runs the B Trust.
B Trust Builders, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
He included Geyser Fund in there because their crowdfunding platform, I think, is a worldwide thing. Which is pretty awesome. Anyway, just another AMA with these guys who are, I think, doing really, really cool work in Bitcoin.
Cool. And then we're going to jump into my top stories. We got the Mutiny new design. Did you see that?
I did see it. Yeah. Tony warned me about this when I told him I loved the old design.
Do you think this person is the one? Do you think that's what's the pleb one where you can or not the pleb one, the AI person thing? Do you think that's who that is right there?
Oh, it's definitely an AI person.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that is not a real person. You could tell. Their face is too average.
Yeah. But anyway, have you played with this yet?
I opened up my Mutiny app right before this to see what it was like, but I haven't imported my private key.
Yeah, it goes right there. Now you can just zap directly from within the app, I think.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how I end up using this. So a lot of what my personal payment flows are a lot of me going from
withdrawing stuff or adding.
Yeah, my wallet to something like Stacker News. But I think in a world where we're using more non-custodial services, this becomes clutch. So
that's the thing I've noticed. Yeah, lately it's more of a going back and forth, like withdrawing or adding or something like that.
But I think having this like layer of more data available on Nostr for payments, I think will improve the non-custodial experience a lot. It's no longer something you can only get in a custodial experience, like without something like Nostr in this case, and Mutiny building this with it. You can only get this experience on Strike.
They said Mutiny Plus subscribers will get first access to a Lightning address. So there you go. If you want
they're gonna do a Lightning address.
If you want your own, does it probably be at mutiny.com, right?
I wonder how they're gonna do that. Oh, they're probably gonna do it with the eCash. Okay.
There you go. Yeah, check it out, Stackers. The next one
I'm
I want to bring
also a subscriber to Mutiny Plus.
Next one I want to check out is Cypher update 2. So this was dropped in the builders territory, and Cypher has just been killing it, dude. Check this out, Keon. What do you think about this?
Wow, look at that.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
So you can now spin up your own blog and web shop all in one.
I love the aesthetic.
When he was in Top Builder, he said he didn't know how to do any of this.
The art?
The art stuff. He needed help with it, and at the time,
who helped him?
I don't know, but
I think it looks great.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah,
it looks really good.
I love the super
Stackers,
high contrast,
especially Darth. If you're watching this is like right up your alley, man. Right up your alley, and it's all on GitHub. Boom. Yeah, so impressed by this guy.
Amazing.
Definitely worth following. Cool. And then the other thing I want to share was this really quickly. So this got dropped in Builders too as well. This is from Nick Foss, and I don't know if you saw this. Can you hear this or no? Probably not, right?
I don't have my headphones on.
I said those exact words. I'm gonna work there, and before they even
so it's
start,
basically kind of like a Galaxy Digital.
So, often people that make fortunes
documentary,
in
basically.
Industry with fluid transfer.
They talk about the
sometimes we have pumps
small
go down,
towns in
we
rural
have fans go
Texas
down,
that
so yeah, we're gonna have to get in.
impact.
Yeah,
I think
I need
scale.
to check it out. It's a good 30 minutes, but it looks really good.
Oh, cool. They shared it exclusively on Twitter. I missed that one.
Yeah. So there's that, and then the next one I want to share was just kind of what we were talking about earlier. It's just sharing wisdom, you know. And so I wrote this last weekend, just kind of my first year.
Dad energy.
Running Club Lab, and I put together like a post of what I learned, the different lessons. I don't know if you had a chance to read it yet, but talked about some of the lessons that I've learned and why they work for me. But I do have it here where I put like a pre-thing. I said it's important to note that we're still ongoing and never fully safe. So take these lessons with like a grain of salt. It's like,
yeah, it's the lessons you think you've learned.
We'll see.
That's how
we'll
all
see.
of our lessons
We'll see how
are.
many of them are wrong a year from now.
Yeah, cool. I haven't had a chance yet.
Yeah,
I'll give it a go.
Let's jump into super stat segment. This is the top stackers this week, or I'm sorry, this week right here.
This week, here we go. Well, lots of stackers at hiding.
Oh wow, KR's losing. Love to see that. Look at that.
Wow. The value for the week is low.
He's finally losing at something, Keon.
Yeah.
Can't win everything, KR.
Well, we're also handicapped.
11.
All the stacker news.
Look, David W's beating him.
People
Look at that.
handicapped.
Love to see it. And then Siggy, Natalia, number 1, number 2.
Oh, I don't know. I don't actually know who those are.
That's who they are.
Okay.
Darth is 4.
All right. I don't think
Oh,
Darth hides.
does he hide?
I don't think he does, but he might
Totally
have.
hides.
He might have started.
Feels like a hider.
I don't think he is. He usually complains about the hiders.
Let me see. Nah, he's totally a hider. Look. There's no way I'm beating him. He's hiding.
Well, it looks like you might be right.
Then we got, let's jump into the most boring segment in Bitcoin, the Cowboy segment. This is KR's segment, basically.
He's at the top. He's
Dude,
maintained.
This is ridiculous, though. How much of his life is he spending on Stacker News?
Well, I mean, he gets
I'm
paid
concerned
for it.
KR, take a day off, man. Don't listen to this guy.
I mean, it's just
he'll run you to the bone. Look at me.
Well,
look at me every week.
Well, you know,
chained to this mic.
That's your
KR,
bracelet.
You take a day off, KR. 430 though.
Simply maintaining the streak. It's not like he has to spend all day to maintain the streak. It's very easy to maintain it.
How easy is it to maintain it?
It's very easy. You've been told several times how to maintain it. You just ignore it.
Anyway, no one can catch KR at this point. Maybe Siggy. Maybe Siggy right here.
You never know.
Maybe Natalia. Maybe Darth.
I don't think they are at the top there. One of those is me.
You are hiding?
One of the ones is me hiding.
Yeah.
I lost mine.
Blockchain boom.
Last year.
Blockchain boom. So we got that. And then we're gonna jump into million sat madness. It's a mad world, Keon. Yeah. What are you thinking? How mad are you that everybody didn't want to go another month?
I don't think it was everyone. I think there are people who really don't like it, and maybe the people who do like it don't like it as much as the people who don't like it.
Yeah.
Or do like it. Don't do like it as much as the people who don't like it. But
Joe Rogers is on here now. That's cool to see.
He's been
Geyser Fund's on there now. Even Dhruv was on there. Let's see if he comes back.
Yeah, he's still there. I might not maintain over the course of the month, but if they keep up their value adding.
Oliver Weiss got Max on there too. Blockchain Boot, it's on there.
Yeah, we've expanded it out to 100 people, so there should be more of it. And
Mateo's on there.
And there's like a way bit fatter long tail now. We'll see. If anyone's curious about, what stackers
Alex
think
from
about
Boomrags.
the Million Sat Madness, they can read a post from Exius where he.
Oh yeah, did you see that EK post?
Yeah,
got to share that one.
Also, Million Sat Madness is sponsored by BTC++ in Austin, where they'll be covering Bitcoin script. You can use the promo code STACKER to get.
No, use promo code PLUBLAB.
I think it's 25% off.
Promo code
Stacker.
PLUBLAB. No, don't use Stacker.
This is Stacker News Live, not PLUBLAB Live. Okay. Are you chained to this test or not?
Use promo code. I was gonna say Stacker. If you want to vote for Keon, use promo code Stacker. If you want to vote for Carr, use promo code PLUBLAB, and we'll see who you love better, Stackers.
Who wins this election?
Hey, who sticks up for you, Stackers? That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Where is that one, that post that he had?
It would go to he comments a lot, so it would go to posts.
Posts. Yeah. Oh yeah, so this one I thought was really, he definitely, if you're a fan of Stacker News, check out this post by EK. He said opinionated MSN community feedback summary, and he kind of goes through about all this stuff. Did you know that he had a different opinion internally?
I knew the day before he posted this. We had talked about it a week before, but he hadn't expressed it very well. I told him for us to have a debate and chat about it. But he didn't share it until the day before he wrote this post. And when he shared it in chat, he's like, "Can I share this?" He's like, "I wanted to share this on Stacker News, but I'm not sure." I'm like, "Share it." I'm like, "Please share it." Yeah, I think it brought about an interesting discussion and had some confirmations of the ideas that he had in there from people who themselves experienced what he was talking about, specifically the competition, the competitive nature. It strikes some people as, it's a lot. It can be a lot for some people, and I didn't realize that.
I didn't even realize that either. I'm just naturally ignoring that kind of stuff. But he says it here. Where is it at? I think I have it here. Yeah. So I messaged him too, and I put it here. Yeah, I said this is what EK said. He says this competition style with the public leaderboard seems to turn the community against each other. Hiders versus non-hiders, popular content versus unpopular content. Being on the leaderboard, the popular people versus the newbies. What do you think about that? You think that's necessarily true, Keon?
Well, I don't think it is necessarily true. I'm not really sure. We don't have a great. That's what I asked for. Is like where are the. I don't know if it's a hypothesis or we actually have examples of people turning on each other. People were sort of accusing Siggy of being one of the hidden stackers. That's about the most notable example of this. And it seems like people are discussing things more. And so maybe you could argue that number has gone up because it's fighting and not, agreement. But I think it's reasonable when you have competition that you are pitting people against each other in some fashion, and that energy can be good or bad depending.
I feel like that's just kind of Bitcoin in general, man. It's very competitive. It's a very competitive space.
Competition isn't necessarily bad.
I think it's just the way you view it yourself. Like if you view it as a competition, then it's a competition. If you don't view it as a competition, then it's not a competition. I think it just kind of depends on how you view it, to be honest. But I think specifically here, this was definitely a competition.
well, I don't know how you say both those things, but
this was definitely a competition.
But I definitely take the point of view that a different point of view than it's the way you view it. When I'm in a basketball game. Or whatever, it's like
you could be Stephon Marbury and just go after 40 points a night,
Yeah, but it's a competition.
It's supposed to be a competition, but some people just focus on
a construct.
Putting up their shots.
It's like it is a competition. It's a real thing.
Kind of just depends, though.
I'm trying to say it doesn't, and you said it doesn't just a second ago when you thought like it would serve you. So
trying to get the conversation moving.
Anyway, I think it'll be maybe so we had some good discussion in here. Maybe where the competition is like taking away the trade-off of having the competition is it's taken away from other aspects of Stacker News, and so we're trying to get a handle on that.
I had a great idea. I think you should just do two separate reward systems. one for the competition, and then one for just daily rewards, and then people can opt in. I don't know how hard it would be on the back end and stuff, but
it's not that hard. It's just the UX is terrible.
Yeah, totally.
For doing multiple ways of doing.
Because it was kind of like, and then it'll be like the cowboy thing where if you want to play, you can play. If not, then no one will know the difference. Like me, I have a new cowboy hat today. There you go.
Yeah, rewards are a little more significant than the cowboy hat, but it would be nice if we could do multiple types of reward systems. I think the long-term path for rewards is every territory founder will get to choose the reward system for their territory, and they'll compete, and they'll have, some of them will do it on days, someone will do it on months, someone will do it on years, some of them will do it on, maybe when blocks are mined. I don't know. Yeah. But the ultimate, we don't want to have to make these decisions, really, is the point. We want them to like compete. And so that's what we're hoping eventually. But for now, it's easiest for us to do some of the experimentation.
Hey, it's all an experiment. Stackers, we're learning together. Cool. I think that's everything, right? Is that everything?
I think we covered. Yeah, we covered pretty much everything.
We're doing a new system today because I forgot my laptop at home.
Oh, but, that's what this is about. I thought because your laptop crapped out.
It's been cramping out. Let's see if we got any comments. Let's see here. Yep. I got one from Darth Coin. It says Coinbase must die. And then he goes, stop the madness. I was forced to enter into hiding mode because of this madness. Oh, wow.
Oh, so he is hiding. Okay. Yeah. He wants to.
And then 171 says, or 117 says, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday.
Let me read the fountain stuff. We got Blockchain Book, 5K sats. Zap back to you, Blockchain Book. Keon, what are you doing this weekend?
What am I doing this week? I'm gonna watch the eclipse.
That's on really?
Monday. That's on Monday. Are you gonna be inside? Are you gonna like stay
I'm
inside?
gonna come to work, dude.
On Monday?
Yeah, everybody's like taking like, it's the weirdest thing, man.
People. You don't believe it? You don't like eclipses?
No, it's not that. It's just like
overcast. But.
Like to me, it's gonna be overcast. I think to me, I just like there's all these people in town. There's like all sorts of stuff going on, and then the eclipse is happening. And
well, my wife wants to.
Oh, she wants to go.
Yeah, she wants to make sure I'm home for the eclipse. Yeah. So
I think we do. I could have sworn there was an eclipse or something like a couple months ago or something.
There was a partial.
Yeah, I was driving with somebody. We just pulled over at like a Buc-ee's and then looked at it and then got back in the car and kept going. Like it wasn't profound or anything.
Oh, ours is pretty cool. We didn't have glasses, but we have a big pecan tree in a neighbor's backyard, and like the shadows that were cast were really cool, like half moon shapes. And so that was really, and it got dark in the middle of the day. So it was actually pretty fun. I don't know, like astrological things are cool. We don't, with all the light pollution, we don't really get to look at the stars and be amazed anymore. We have to wait for like literally for the energy source of
I guess in that sense it all lines up. But it's just happening here in Texas, I think, right?
No, it's happening.
Is it everywhere?
No, not everywhere. It's through Texas and up to like Maine.
I'm surprised no one's posted an eclipse.
Well, there's an Airbnb post.
So, look right there.
There's an Airbnb post. No, this is, I would go to, Kevin had an Airbnb post with a graphic in it.
Kevin did?
Yeah, I would go Airbnb. No, you don't want to search for KR. Airbnb at KR. Yeah. You want to do it.
Oh, you want to do an at? You fixed that? Are you sure that works?
Yes, it'll work.
Oh, let's see if the search works. Oh, that one?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, dude. Whoa. Look at that. Now that's a chart. Yeah. Dude, these are all the booked Airbnbs. Yeah. Whoa.
So that's where the eclipse is taking place.
That's a wow.
Yeah.
Dude.
Crazy, right?
So is your neighborhood packed or what?
Probably.
So everybody's going to be watching the eclipse right here.
Yeah, we have in-laws coming to watch it. So that'll be
this looks like what the vote count's going to look like in November. Woo! You like that?
I think so. I don't know. I don't know what you mean.
Never mind.
Oh, you
it's,
mean
it's like we're just so in a woke culture right now, dude. It's just gonna be completely.
Oh.
Yeah, we're headed towards doomsday, Keon. The eclipse is the beginning of it.
Oh no. I hope
Telling
not.
you. Telling you, this is where we're headed, Keon. Look at this. There will be an eclipse, but Europeans won't observe it. Have a good view, American brothers and sisters.
I had a friend's family. They would travel for eclipses. That was like one of their family activities. Yeah, they really.
I don't know, man.
Liked it.
I'm just ready to go back to work on Monday.
Yeah, it'll be nice to work too. But I don't think I've ever seen a total eclipse before. So
I feel like I have. I feel like they're here all the time, but maybe this one will be different.
maybe it will.
We'll see.
You said the other day that there's a 50% chance that the world ends.
Yeah, there's a lot of people talking.
Who's talking about it? 50%.
All sorts of people can. I was at the grocery store like 2 weeks ago, and the guy was saying like, it's like, yeah, a lot of people are stocking up because they're afraid the world's gonna end.
Wow.
You never know, man.
You got to trust. I was a grocery clerk.
It's the locals, though. You never know. Locals could be all. You never know. But
Cool. What are you doing this weekend?
Working.
Sweet. What are you working on?
All sorts of things.
Wow.
What we're doing tonight is hack and tell. We're gonna do something here in the lab. I think there should be some tacos coming.
Are we gonna televise it?
I don't know. I don't know. See if Logan comes in. We'll see.
Cool. Because it'd be cool. It'd probably be pretty cool eventually. Maybe we don't do it this time.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be. I mean, we'll see how the first one goes. You never know with this stuff. You know.
I think it'll be great. Are you gonna show anything off?
Trying to think. What should I show off? Oh, I could show off my flipper thing.
You have flippers?
Flipper thing.
You have Do you remember that? Was a TV show, right?
No, that was a movie.
Is that a movie?
Anyways, snackers, you have yourself a great weekend. Enjoy the eclipse. Rent an Airbnb.
Be quiet though. Respect your neighbors.
And have a good weekend. Keon.
Zap.